And joining Malia Manuel and Caroline Marks in the lineup, Sally Fitzgibbons and Macy Callaghan, world number 3 going against world number 15.
As we see a beautiful looking wave, this drone angle is amazing as we see Sally Fitz up and riding.
Sally Fitzgibbons' first wave of round 16, heat 2. She's going up against hard charging rookie in Macy Callaghan. And this is where the decisions have to be made. Should I stay or should I go? Do I rock the Casbah? She does. Comes around this big section. And right there, the inside section. Can she ride out? She does.
Smart.
That was a real tricky read for Sally Fitzgibbons as she had faded back and then looked up and goes, oh no, I got to get there. But she's one of the best in the world. No problem for Sally Fitz.
Very similar to what we saw yesterday with the waves tending to kind of barrel on that inside section. Sally, though, wave number 1. Clean. Love the way she kind of wraps around and right arm never above her head, kind of maintaining it underneath her shoulder, making it look really smooth, keeping that rail engaged. The waves here, Barra just providing. Sally connects, and that is what we want to see. A high-risk maneuver on that inside section, a little bit late, and somehow manages to put enough weight on her back foot to avoid the nose from diving, leaning back, left arm in the air.
That was impressive. So powerful, so consistent. There's a reason why she's been in a constant battle for a title since she got on tour as a rookie. And now we go to Macy Callaghan, surfer out of Australia. Beautiful fluid style. See her reading this wave nicely from the outside, looking for that nice finish. So a casual approach into a beautiful layback turn. Not a lot of intensity, but the judges do like to see good form. They do like to see a controlled maneuver at the end of your wave. But let's take a look at Macy Callaghan. This is her opening ride.
Different approach. A tall surfer able to coil up and really draw out her turns in the face. You can see the wave completely backing off. Why? Well, she decides to go down into the flats, a different type of cutback, and a whitewater coming at her. We talked about that inside section usually being dangerous. Surfers like Kelly Slater saying,
you got to make it abundantly clear to the judges that you are surfing the most critical part of the wave, in control, and surfing with a lot of power and speed in order to get those big numbers. Sally Fitz up and out real quick with a 5 and a .30. 2 big scores on the board from Malia Manuel, a 6.67 and a 5.93. Unofficially going to get the win and move through into the next round. Meanwhile, waves being ripped all over this bank.
I believe the 4.17 of Macy Callaghan, and you see on the outside of Fitzgibbons just destroys that first section. Look at how great these waves are, Joe. I can't believe Barra De La Cruz is offering this up. As Macy finishes up with a beautiful route, Fitzgibbons has had a nice tempo this week here at Barra De La Cruz. I love what I'm seeing. Slides the fins out a little bit too much.
Into live action, Fitzgibbons. It's kind of on a scramble to find that clear section to work with. Carved a hack. Drills one in the pocket and now looking for this inside run. Kind of a downward slash. A little bit of movement on that open face of that wave. You could tell there's a little bit of different energy heading back towards the rocks, but she managed her speed well to represent Australia and cheer on Owen Wright to the bronze medal. Here's last to Sally.
Yeah, it came in as a 4.5. Doesn't improve her situation, but still, I like this approach, especially.
Coming off the roof with Macy Callaghan. Nice drive into that front side wrapping turn. Slicing it once again on the open face. Power gouge, and that one will shut down in front of Macy. Couple of fours to start as she's chasing Fitzgibbons. Looking for a 6.77 to take the lead in the priority heat. Who's finished runner-up in the world 3 times.
Smaller wave, Joe, but I love the aggressiveness from the get-go. Then that beautiful trademark carve from Macy, another one. And I love her extension with her arms and her legs. That one was just precious. And this wave ran off right here.
You know, the year that Greg Long ended up taking that out, and it was gigantic at Honolulu Bay. And there's these whispers going, wait, Courtney's 14. you know, how's she going to feel about this? And some people who hadn't met Courtney yet, and she was so excited, charged, and she's kept that reputation ever since. Fitzgibbons with a series of frontside cutbacks to kick off this right. Jams it quickly, kind of a 2-for-1 in that small space to stay on her feet as she looks to better a 5.0 to separate herself with Macy Callaghan. All these heats are setting up quarterfinals. It's really easy to follow the draw now. If you go to worldsurfleague.com, you can actually see a bracket, which is really easy to follow. Snap over the whitewater and up and out for Macy Callaghan. Not what she was looking for. Manuel's using it at the right time. Looking at the rankings, you know, you saw her in 2 other quarterfinals this year, Rottnest and also at Honolulu Bay. Now she's into a 3rd one, this time at Barra De La Cruz, and just slamming on the open face is Macy Callaghan. Hard off the bottom and getting a nice step there. Just kind of trims that end section float, but she definitely looked much more aggressive on the start to that smaller wave. We'll get back to that because we've got Macy on the replay.
Yeah, love the aggressiveness right there. That was one of the better turns we've seen all event long, especially at the beginning of a wave. And then this one seemed like it was going to build a little bit more. Goes up into lip and seemed a little bit tired right at the end there. Didn't really get up into the lip line, and you see.
First person I think of is John Florence. Nice aggressive wrapping turn. Fitzgibbons keeping a higher line on the next cutting. Section vertically for the snap, and there's the hook again. Rapid fire surfing from Sally, on fire, inside wedge. We saw her throw the air reverse the other day. Now I'm just waiting for it, but smart. It didn't get really wedge against her, so she just floated it, stayed on her feet. So many different types of turns for Fitzgibbons.
Could just try to get a couple of scores on the board, and then starts aggressive on this last wave, and especially right in front of Macy. That's not something that your opponent is probably going to want to see. Beautiful top turn right there from Sally. I love the aggressiveness, that little extra zip on that carve, and then just the finishing touches. La cereza en el pastel, Joe, the cherry on top of the cake, as I told you the other day.
If she's got 46 minutes in a heat, she's going to get some big numbers.
And look at this, Joe. Important wave, needs a 7.57 or better on this.
Setup snap for Callahan. So far, just all about setup work. There's that signature frontside wrap.
Got to go for it right here, Joe.
Carve to fill it in. So far, so good. A nice clean start to that snap and a little bobble to recover.
As you were talking about, one of the younger competitors maybe hasn't competed as much with this format before, and Sally has.
Fitzgibbons into the quarterfinal.